What up, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Fencer Princess, SoundCloud, SoundCloud. It's your boy Tone 202. And this is not an issue about sports or anything. Yeah. I want to talk about being bullied. Now, anybody can get bullied. It can happen to any of us in one way or another. Adults get bullied at their jobs by their bosses and by other peers. It does happen, no matter how strong or confident you are. You can still get bullied. And of course, you still have issues in school with, kids. There are some, kids in high school that watch my channel. I know this. And, all the way down to, whatever grade they're in. But we are all susceptible to it. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of who your family is and all this other. It'll never happen to me because my family. No, it can happen to you. You know what I'm saying? Because bullies bullies know how to bully it. They know who to go after, and they can wait until you're vulnerable. And regardless of how big your family is or how dangerous you think they are, they'll catch you when you're by yourself. You ain't so dangerous then. You know what I'm saying? And of course, both genders are susceptible to it. I was bullied in school, bullied a few times. And, you know, the thing about me, like when I was bullied, I was, like I said, I was bullied a few times in school. But when I was bullied, I was like 14 or something like that. 14, 15. And, I could fight. I grew up in a tough hood. I could fight, but I hated it. I hate confrontation today. I just hate it. I don't like the bad energy that comes out of it. I really don't. Like, I like, I back down from arguments. I just walk away because I don't like the energy that it has, that it puts on you. I don't like the feeling, the spiritual overpowerment of it. And I recognize a lot of that is a spirit. Anger is a spirit. I got angry. You know what I'm saying? When you say that, you're inviting the spirit into your life. But in some cases, it's just like, you have to defend yourself. So when I was bullied like I said, I was in, 15, and I remember this guy like it was yesterday. And basically, in my hood, you had to learn how to fight. And basically, that's what they were doing. It was more of a rites of passage thing, but I didn't know. We had just moved down in that hood. And this guy who was older than my age group was running around beating up everybody in my group. All the dudes I hung with, he went around and beat all of us up. He was bullying us just because he could, you know. And when one of us would get beat up by him, we would give the report on what happened. and you know, and when he caught us, when he came for me, I was outside and hanging with the rest of the guys, and I just knew it was gonna happen. And, we squared off. I was scared as heck, but we squared off, and I fought him, and I was winning. I fought him and I was winning, and then then I started to get angry. I started to feel that spirit just overpower me because I was really getting mad to the fact that I had to fight, and I just didn't like to fight. I like to ride my bike and chase girls, but I hated it. I hated the fact that I had to fight this guy, and that fear gripped me. Every time I saw him, I ran. After the fight, after I was pretty much winning, I got hit in the face. Then, after that, and I ran in the house and I wouldn't come outside for weeks. You know what I'm saying? And my sister was like, "Why won't you go outside?" I was like, I told her, and she saw the dude. She's like, leave my brother alone. But I was still afraid of confrontation. I was still afraid to get into a fight with him, or anybody. I just didn't like it, until a guy in my age group called me a punk. In my hood, you just can't do that. You can't be known as a punk. And punk back then mean you didn't know how to fight, and you was gay. You was a sissy. Woo. So he said that, and he said it to somebody in my group, and I walked over to him and I was like, let's go right now. And after that, I wasn't afraid anymore. Like, I was just afraid of confrontation, but I realized I had to do it. Now, I'm saying all that to say, to say this: bullying is never cool, and you can easily bully somebody, and sometimes you don't even know you're doing it. You could just tease them because it's cool, because you're in the cool group, because you're better looking than they are, because you have more money than they do. You could look down at them because they're not built like you, or they don't play on a certain team, or they don't do all the stuff that you do socially. You could still look at them and just not want anything to do with them. you know and every time they come around you, you like shun them off because you think you're somebody in this whole world. It's like, get over yourself. But for those of you who are being bullied, they didn't have what they have now. What I'm saying? They didn't have places to go to, little, centers, and, of course they had libraries, but libraries are everywhere now. They're popping up all over the place. There's one right up the street. And have a place where you can just go tell and be like, listen, I'm going through this thing. So it's in and bullying back then, as kids, as us, growing older, usually didn't result in death. Now bullying results in death. Uh, there's kids that are killing themselves because they're being bullied. This is happening over and over, and I've made a video about it before. And for all the 5 of you who are going to watch this video, I didn't make this for YouTube ratings or anything. I made it because, one, it's the end of July. Kids go back to school next month. And for the few kids who do watch this, it's kind of my PSA to you. It happens. It happens. And when it does happen, one, don't don't be afraid to tell somebody. Listen, look, you could be outnumbered. I've been outnumbered and bullied before, and I knew I wasn't going to win. I took off running. Pshong. You know what I'm saying? I took off, but I took off running, and I came, and I ran home, and I reached under my bed. I grabbed the bat, and I ran back because I had enough. I had enough. I had enough of being bullied. I had what I call a Buford. I ran back. I was like, I'm finished with being bullied. I'm finished. So before it comes down to that, tell somebody, tell your parents, you know, tell your girlfriend, your guy friends, tell your teacher. Just let somebody know. And if you are around a bunch of friends and they start calling you names because this is happening to you and you're afraid, then don't hang around those guys no more. Now, if you need to get tough, ain't nothing wrong with learning how to scrap. Go to a gym. I mean, there's plenty of YouTube videos on how to, protect yourself. Take up some martial arts. Take up something that'll give you confidence. If you're the freckle-faced little boy that everybody picks on, trust me, that ain't going to be you all your life. You're going to be the freckle-faced little boy, you know, benching 300 pounds, as a sophomore. They keep messing with you, and I know this because I've seen this. I've seen the guy bullied, grow up to be that dude. Like, you don't want to mess with him. I mean, I'm, I've seen guys in my hood turn into monsters simply because, you mess with the wrong person long enough, they're going to find something to release that energy on, and once that energy gets into them, they just turn into complete. They're not. They just have no regard for anyone anymore. You know what I'm saying? And even recently, Mike Tyson talked about how he was, abused as a child, and he said after that he was like, I just had to be mean. Now what happened to him was extreme, but nonetheless, it all falls under the same umbrella. To You're being bullied. If you're, being, uh, if you're being set up to fight, if you're even at your job, for you adults, man, don't act like y'all ain't never been bullied. Don't sit up like don't sit up here and act like y'all ain't never, had some, buddy threaten to fire you over something you didn't do. Like, don't act like you ain't never came face to face or know somebody who's ever came face to face with that, because that's a lie. You know what I mean? Y'all know, what I'm saying? Y'all know the bully on the block. I'm saying, at your job, messing with you all the time, just messing with you. I mean, I was on a job and this person just wouldn't leave me alone. Let's check. You know what I'm saying? So I walked away from her, tried to go to a spot where I could just do my thing. She followed me. She just wouldn't leave me alone. And finally, I was like, all right, I'm gonna leave. And as I was exiting, she came from behind me. And like I said, where I grew up at, man, there's just certain distances you gonna get before I think we're about to fight. And she came up from behind me. I turned around so quick, it scared the mess out of her, because I turned around with every intention to protect myself, and then she went and told everybody that I did something to her. See, people like that, you know what I mean? Just going about your business. Leave me the hell alone. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just one of those people, like, where I'm at right now in my life and where I live at. Like, I love the peace. I love to sit out on my porch and just, watch the people, or there's nobody out right now. I like this right here. Just everybody's just, they're off at work or whatever. I'm just chilling. Like, I love peace, because where I've been bullied pretty much all my life in one way or another. And when I get to fighting back, people get to call the police on me. They want to talk that junk until I start flexing, and then they want to call the police. And it's just like, oh. And I had one person say, "Who would be afraid of you?" I'm like, "You don't know me. You know me to be soft spoken. You know me to back down from arguing with people, and you know me to just be the old dude sitting on my porch." But there's a reason why I'm sitting on my porch and just chilling, because I already know what's out there. You know what I'm saying? I done lived a violent life. I mean, I done lived a life I don't want to live anymore. So, if you see me as somebody who, can't defend themselves, you keep believing that. And for all of you who's out there getting bullied, listen, find some peace. You know what I mean? Like I said, if you got to go and learn martial arts as a kid, do that. If you got to, carry a bat with you, carry a bat, especially if you think you're getting ready to get jumped. I'm telling you right now, you think it's about to go down, and you done told everybody you could, and you still getting bullied. Do what I did. I had a bat as a kid. I had a big, well, it wasn't even a bat. It was just a big old stick. I was like, word, I'm done. I'm done. I'm done running. I'm done. You know what I mean? And in most places I grew up, because after I had already grown up, even in the military, I was bullied. You know what I'm saying? I was bullied by some sergeants and a captain. one of the sergeants tried to, they stripped me of my rank because they said I wasn't being a good soldier. But that's because they were trying to bully me, and I stood up to them. I even stood up to a colonel. I had enough. And the first person I stood in not the first person, but I stood up to a couple E6s too. I just had enough of them trying to bully me. Like, I went through that, and when I was a kid, it was just I'm done. Like, y'all are messing with the wrong dude. I will get court-martialed right here and now and take it to your face. And I pretty much let them know what's going on. Now you, yeah. Now you got to be careful because I could have got the worst end of that, but I didn't. You know what I'm saying? And God was still looking out for me because I was angry. I got angry. I got tired of them messing with me. I got tired of them doing things to me. And, a lot of that stemmed from when I was a kid, getting bullied. I got tired of getting hit. When I was a kid, man, I was getting hit by adults, just hitting me for stuff I couldn't help or didn't understand. I'm a kid. I'm like 11. I'm like, why are you hitting me? And I mean, I'm defenseless against this big ass 300-pound dude. Big ass dude named Gary. If I saw him today, I would whoop his ass. I would straight up whoop his ass. I wouldn't even think about it. I'd whoop his ass in front of police. If I saw him and recognized him today, I would drop everything I'm doing and I would beat the hell out of that man. Now, I was never sexually abused or anything like that, but it's just a simple fact that he knew he was causing me physical harm. He knew it and he didn't give a damn. I would beat the holy hell out of that man. I'd probably beat him to death. But like I said, God is in the blessing business. God knows to keep me away from anybody like that. You know what I'm saying? And I don't live anywhere near him. I'm not looking for him. But I'm telling you, this is what happens with bullying. It sparks that type of anger in you to where you never forget it. So I'm telling you guys now, if you ever in that type of situation, even if it's an adult, I'm talking about somebody hitting you, and get out. Get out. Because I'm a 50-year-old man, and I would put every bit of energy into beating that guy's face in, and that's wrong. I would do time. I'd do prison. I would go to prison. But that's the one time I go to prison with a smile on my face. I mean, I would literally laugh at the judge. You know what I mean? So, what's up? What's up, Lord Stephen? Chilling. I like it.
They find me, but they dismiss everything.
Yeah, that Whitehall man, they ain't really.
That's all they want anyway is my money.
Yeah, they just want your money, man. Yeah, but if they catch you doing it again though,
Y'all nah, they ain't my catch.
yeah, yeah, you stay up on that.
I'm gonna be smarter now.
Yes, sir.
And I just got good today.
Yeah.
Great.
All right, man. Yeah. So I'm just telling you, that type of anger, you don't need to live with that type of anger. You know what I'm saying? I've been bullied by landlords. Bullying is real. People will take advantage of you if they think they can. You know what I mean? People will try to, physically, mentally mess with you. I'd have been, racism is a form of bullying, whether it's black on black, whether it's white on white, regardless. That's bullying too. You know what I'm saying? You're using black privilege or white privilege, and there is such a thing as black privilege. Although, most of the time you don't really see that in the workplace when it comes to a black person bullying a white person, but it does happen. But you'll see a lot of interracial bullying. You'll see a lot of, black people bullying other black people at the job. And the same thing with every other race. There's a lot of infighting within races, but especially at work in high profile jobs, it's just bad with black people. It's just terrible. They'll come after you and just I done seen just some crazy stuff. Like, we at work, like, why are y'all trying to fight me at work? Like, what did I do? Like, I just started today. It's just the fact that you're there. They don't want another black person to be there working. They want to see a white person in there. They don't want to see a black person in there. It happens. But anyway, I just had to do this because, you know, bullying is real. And, you know, I don't remember bullying anybody that, I didn't turn around and be like, oh, damn. Did I just hurt their feelings? Or did I just, you know what I'm saying? Like, I wasn't a bully, but, I got into fights, I got into disagreements, and then I'd be like, sorry. I'd be like, oh, that wasn't right. One guy I got in a fight with because I wanted his girl. I was a kid when I was 17. I didn't even want his girl. I just wanted her attention. I didn't really want her. I just wanted her to like me for about 5 seconds, and then I was like, eh. But I knew he was weaker than me, and that was my fault, you know? And I pushed him. And his girl stepped in between us and grabbed my hand, and my automatic reflex, I just hit her. And I felt terrible. I felt terrible. Like, what the hell? Like, I didn't even know who grabbed me. I just felt somebody grab me, and my hand just went, and then it was her. I was like, God, like, I was like, and and I walked away, like, and then, I apologized to him both. I was like, damn, I'm sorry. I mean, I didn't mean to do that, because I'm not the bullying dude. And that they're probably still together, got kids, married, whatever. I hope they are. You know what I'm saying? But it was an accident. It was out of reflexes, but still it happens. You know what I mean? So to anybody I've come across and I've hurt, I apologize. You know, I stay away from people for the most part now. You know, but anybody that I've hurt, I'm sorry, because I'm not really that dude. Some people need a good knock in the head, though. They run their mouth too much. They need to get slapped in the head, but I ain't to run around slapping in the head. I'm not the administrator of being slapped in the head. But some people do need to get slapped in the head. I done had some women that need to get, and they be wanting me to slap. They be wanting me to just, so they would do stuff to just make me, because they found out I was a nice dude and I didn't like violence. And they did like this other person said. Why would anybody be afraid of you? And that's what they thought too. So they pushed me, and now I'm standing in front of a judge. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just telling you guys, violence is not cool, and it's a spirit. And bullying is not cool. So watch what you say to somebody. Regardless of where you at. Some of y'all gonna be like, "F you, man. Who cares a damn what you think?" Okay, you gonna be the next one to get bullied. You're gonna be a grown ass man, and there's gonna be somebody gonna run up on you. You're a grown ass man thinking it can't happen. Next thing you know, somebody gonna run up on you. One person. It's gonna be mano a mano, and they gonna tell you what to do. And if you don't do it, they're gonna beat the hell out of you. Simply because you won't be hard headed. And it's gonna be you and all your confidence and all your strength, and somebody gonna run right up on you and look you right in the face and be like, what you want to do? And you gonna realize that you are outgunned, outpowered, and you about to get bullied. And you either do it or you about to get your face smashed in. You know what I mean? You run around thinking you cute, can't nobody get to you. You about to get your whole jaw knocked off, flat out laid on the ground, walk away, and you still on the ground 20 minutes later. You know what I'm saying? It happens. So for you kids going to school, going back to school, you got a situation where you're being bullied, speak up, say something, get around some homies before it gets bad, before you have the type of anger that I have for, a few people in my past. You know what I'm saying? Um, all through my past, a couple people. I got some of them my age. If I saw them today, man, I'd have to walk off or I'd catch a case. I'd catch a bad case. I Listen, I would catch a case and I'd be happy to catch it. I'll put it to you like this. I got in a fight with a dude in high school, right? Middle school. Now I started the fight, but I didn't start it as far as fisticuffs. I started as far as mouthing off. You know what I'm saying? I was mouthing off after school. I called this guy a punk and he said, "What you say?" I was bouncing my ball and I said, "I heard you a whack." He hit me so fast. He hit me so fast I had to ask somebody what hit me. No, but he did. He hit me quick because for one, I took my eyes off my opponent, which you never do. And for two, I was running my mouth about an opponent I had no idea of what their limitations were and their skills. It was just two mistakes you just don't make. Don't start none, don't be none. I got hit. I was in the wrong. I got hit. I got stunned, literally. You know what I'm saying? My head was ringing because I got hit off guard. But it was my fault. He was standing right in front of me and I dropped my eyes. Pow! I said, okay, you got me on that one, bro. I didn't think he's going to hit me. I thought it was just going to be some, yakety yak, but he hit me and I was like, all right. So I walked home. He was following me. Him and his crew was following me for a little bit. I walked home. I knew if he hit me again, I was going down. But, I was like, all right. So I started walking home. I walked all the way home, which was a couple miles, actually. I was like, okay, that happened, you know. But I never forgot who he is. And then I saw him again about 10 years ago. Maybe now, yeah, about 10, 15 years ago. I saw him at work. You know what I'm saying? I don't even live in that city anymore. I was just going to visit. I walked in the mall and I saw him. I was with one of my homies at the time, and I just broke ranks. We was walking one way, and I saw him. I was like, I know who that is, and I just walked over there towards him. He was sitting down, selling cell phones at a desk or something. I just rolled up on him, and I looked at him. You know what I'm saying? I was standing over him practically, because I wanted him to stand up and flex. You know what I'm saying? And I said, do you know who I am? He ain't even bothered to look. He just shook his head, yeah. And I stood there and I just kept looking at him. I said, okay. And I walked away. See, because in my eyes, he shouldn't have hit me, even though he should have hit me. I was talking junk. But in my eyes, I started it, but I started just the mouthing off. I was like, why did I get hit? But in his eyes, he was like, I'm going to hit you if you call me a punk. And that's the rules of the jungle. You know what I'm saying? You call somebody out, say they something that they not, you get hit. You know what I'm saying? And I got hit. So I was being a somewhat of a bully. I got my ass kicked for it. And I deserved it. But nonetheless, I still harbored, some I wanted a do-over. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to see him. I came to see him. I came to his desk to see him. Like I'm here now. What's popping? But I'm an adult, so I ain't run up on him like. I just let him know. Look, I'm 6'2". You know what I'm saying? I'm 6'2", 260. You know what I'm saying? What's good now? What you want to do? But I ain't even roll up on him like that. I just rolled up on him. I just looked at it. Now, he could have got up and started swinging. He had every right. You know what I'm saying? If that's what he wanted to do. But it wouldn't have been no hit me and get stunned. Because my eyes was on my opponent. He would have swung. He would have got put to the ground quick. I'm not playing that. So, just some of my bully stories where I was the bully and I was wrong. And bullying is wrong. Alright? I don't care how old you are. I don't care if it's your neighbor. I don't care who it is. You know, I try to live a life where I don't cause nobody no harm. You know, of course we all make mistakes. We don't all do some stupid stuff. I ain't nobody's angel. So, you know, if somebody saw this video and they know me and be like, oh, you did this the other day. It was like, so did you. So did you with your imperfect ass. You imperfect like a mud. You calling out other people. You know what I'm saying? Because there are some people that I know that watch my videos that don't live around here. But they live in the city. And every now and then I see them. I saw you on YouTube talking junk. I remember when. Like, yeah, you know me for 20 years, of course. It's your boy Tone 202, man. Bullying's not cool. There are 1-800 numbers you can call. You know what I'm saying? And for you people who do know me, you can come talk to me. You can come get some of this arm wrestling. You can come and get some of this. Boom! Boom! You can come and get some of that. Some of y'all think y'all strong in your body. Damn! Right here on the porch. You come get some of this. You see that? You come get all that. Boom! Go home. It's your boy Tom 202.